favor Miami on their defenses when they get to open up. They get to open up a lot of walls, open up a lot of angles, and just really play for the pure gun skill. I wonder what Calgary's game plan is going into that if they have an answer.
Yeah, there's only one way to really figure that out, and that's going to be when we jump into that game. But it's going to be quite the idea to see whether they're going to be really aggressive, play slow, tedious, try to get onto site, or how they play even on defense. And it's going to be just a game of tactics. And which team is the master tactician? We're going to find out today of the two. But, as we're getting to this first map, what are you expecting for character pickups and operator pickups going into game number one that might suit Cafe a bit better?
FA is a map that I see a lot of hard, or sorry, not hard destruction rather, but soft destruction. Uh, if you have a buck player on the team, Cafe is just a playground. Lots of vertical angles, lots of ways to, take control of the site from above, clear out a bunch of space, and then maybe open your way up for a plant. Maybe we could see a buck ban here, but more than likely on the attack, I'm expecting to see possible. Well, actually, I don't know. Flores is a very solid ban coming out from Miami. That's going to allow a lot of their utility to sit in place and not be destroyed. I'm thinking of the pixel angle on top of white, and I'm thinking of just a bunch of spots downstairs where players can really, take root and be very hard to uproot.
Yeah, that's a good ban to get out. As you mentioned, and a Thatcher ban is going to come through. One character that, I don't know if it's the best choice here, but I always like to see Jackal a little bit and his ability to track players and really assess the situation, get eyes on everything. But Mira is going to be banned out for the side of the Calgary Dub Snoozers.
Mirror makes a lot of sense. It's a operator that can be very strong, very oppressive in the right hands. And same thing with Solus, really. They're operators that you have to bring an answer for, and if you fail to answer them, they can almost outright win the round. Solus can deny plant from below or above, can gather so much intel, deny your entire drone game. Mira can single-handedly shut off avenues of attack if you can't deal with her Black Mirror. They're operators that seeing them ban on the defense makes a lot of sense, is very smart from both
Attackers need to
teams. They
locate and
don't want to
defuse as
deal
many
with it,
bombs
or,
as they can.
maybe they can't deal with it. But either way, it's an operator that, hey, don't want to play against it. I don't want to play it. Let's get it off the board. Let's not even.
I'm going to lie.
Absolutely. And it is going to be jumping into this game number one here on Cafe as these teams are getting set up and ready to go here. And this is going to be a fun one as we are in our playoffs and the winner does go on to our semifinals round.
Yes.
And
10
so
seconds remaining.
a lot on the line for these two teams. It is a best of three. It's going to be the first one to two map victories today. And a lot on the line for these two teams as we're getting into this round number one. As right now, Miami getting quite the setup in here, blowing out a lot of walls, and Snoozers starting to make their approach.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that downstairs, opening up the angles you like, closing off the angles you don't. You can play further back in that kitchen site if you do get shot off of the angles. But Miami, with their gun skill, they're gonna try to leverage this to, really deny the entrance. But that's great utility usage. Unfortunately, Phil's ace charge just gets shot out a little bit too quickly. That flashbang does push the player back up red, but they need intel on that in order to do anything with it. Meanwhile, Ducky, this vetted player sitting behind Bakery. It's going to be very hard to flush out without the proper utility, especially without Flores. And Ducky is having a lot of support, especially that Thorn who gets the opening kill.
Yeah, and a lot of flashes are going to come in onto Ducky, but they are going to find the kill onto 1 HP. And now they're in a 45 situation for Calgary, still trying to get onto the point. And they really have to worry about Ducky right now since he is in such a good position holding down this set of doorways with the crossfires of Jimmer as well. And it's going to be tough for Calgary to get in safely as they're trying to lurk in, trying to sneak in. A lot of damage onto Hockey, onto Caven, as he's going to fall to about a quarter here. A lot of damage going to come through on that wall bang. And now Williams taking a bit of poke as well. Right now, Miami doing very good at holding these lines as they're keep running in these shots. As right now, Calgary just having a lot of struggle able to get in, these crossfires set up in this positions of Miami doing very well for them in this round number 1. And right now, we look at Williams trying to peek in, trying to find someone, trying, wall bang, get a hit, get something so his team can push in. With Triax trying to sneak around, trying to slip through, but Caven is going to fall, is going to go down. Someone's going to have to try and pick him back up before he bleeds out, or before anyone can follow up on it. Triax has his crosshair on, but doesn't know that they're there, doesn't know they're behind that wall. And right now, Ducky firing through, gonna find himself a kill onto Triax. And right now, they're going off as they're gonna start falling one by one like dominoes. Phil's gonna have to start booking it as all of his teammates will fall around him. And now trying to look for a re-engage, trying to look for a pick anywhere that he can. But right now, he has 4 guns from Miami aimed at him as he's trying to fire in through this window, and he will fall. Jimmer gonna find the kill with that pistol. A flawless round for Miami to start this one.
Calgary really couldn't get much more than the bakery there. Really unfortunate that, they didn't seem to have a plan. They took bakery. They started to open up walls, do what they needed to do. They were, they looked like they had a plan. And then all of a sudden they come to, the site execute. And Williams all of a sudden doesn't have any grenades to help flush out any players playing behind these, kitchen appliances. The sledge isn't going above to try to flush out the players by vertical control. I was just talking about Buck being such a strong operator in this map. But no Buck, but you do have a sledge. A sledge could easily have opened up that floor and maybe at least stop some of those players. But Calgary didn't invest anything into the room there. They didn't invest anything into going upstairs. And they didn't have enough nades or any other kind of utility to flush out Miami from these positions. And so, last night we were just roasting teams for pushing very one-dimensionally, and Calgary made the same mistake. All funneled in the bakery, tried to take gunfights against Miami, and Miami just sat and waited for the peaks.
Yeah, and just a great job by Miami to kind of be patient and wait for Calgary to be forced to make those peaks. Now, if they can just hold on to those flashes, try and get that space without using as much utility, they'll have a much better chance going into this round number 2. As if they had just had one more flash, they really could have made a big disturbance there in that round 1, having their entire team inside of bakery there. And now they're going. Looks like they're going to be taking a little bit of different action. One of them, Williams, is going to be trying to go up, is going to zip line up, is going to hammer in that window, and Williams is going to go up to the roof, while the rest 3 of his teammates are still going to try and push in through bakery, and Jimmer is going to find him one, and Phil will fall. A first kill of the round for Jimmer there. Already off to 3 kills thus far in this match. Kind of showing why he was last year's MVP in this league and doing very well to start this one off right now.
Definitely. Jimmer, 3 kills, how long can you keep that up for? Probably a while. This guy's a unit and has been around a while. So definitely has that experience. Is definitely more than just a hothead gun. So I look forward to seeing him for the rest of the game. How
it looks like they're going to come in, and 1 HP is going to get taken down by Jimmer, trying to enter in through that window. And now we have Triax trying to enter in through this window, but he's not going to find the flashbangs onto Ducky. Ducky still has that angle on lock on that window as Caven and Williams are trying to come in through the roof. Going to be trying to get inside. And right now, Miami just has the angles. They're very safe, able to not have to worry that much about what Calgary is doing, as a lot of the utility that's coming out of Calgary is not finding its marks. These flashbangs just a little off the point, and Ducky's gonna find himself a kill, but it is gonna be gets to to fall. It's going to be Kit that takes the beating for it, and now they're going to find another. It's just going to be Cayman left for that side of Calgary. It is going to be Bedmite to find the kill, peeking out around that corner and picking him off.
That time, Calgary just took too many opening kills. I mean, it was a 3v5 before we saw any action, any attempt to, do a clear or anything like that. Just Jimmer below, making himself known, getting 2 kills for free, and wandering off back to site. Snooze have had a problem with these roamers. They can't deal with the roamers, or they just refuse to for whatever reason. And it's got to change, especially on this middle floor site. We're going to see a big extension into the upstairs, and Calgary are going to have to deal with it because the defense are going to set up to retake site and open up a bunch of angles so that Calgary can't get the plant. Calgary, this is their time to prove that you can roam clear, you can play more structured, because so far you have only shown us one dimension of attack.
Reinforcing wall!
Yeah, I'd love to see this team kind of spread out, use their utility on top of each other to try and get into these objectives. As you know that, either they're going to be on the objective or playing retake for one of them. So if they can at least make it to one of them, at least get that plant off, you can really change the dynamic of that fight if you can get that control. But it's a matter of getting there, a matter of getting onto site. That is really a struggle for Calgary at this moment, as they're gonna fall 2 rounds to 0 already in this game. And you mentioned this one layer of attack. What do you want to see from them, like, to change it up and be able to mix this up?
Well, I don't want to see Nomad get ran out on the rip, that's for sure. I can see those outlines, and I was starting to get worried. What I want to see is exactly this. Everyone's on the roof, checking drones, figuring out where they can get into the building and start this roam clear. And then from there, I want to see multiple players working in tandem to clear out either space or clear out players. Phil now being hot droned into the cigar lounge, meanwhile backed up by Williams. So if these 2 players can play off each other and try to work either a pick or to, force these players on the top floor down, that's where I think we'll see Calgary.
Yeah, and right now they have made their way onto the top floor with Phil's entry on the sledge, and now is Calgary able to step into the building for the first time, really. And I'd really like to see them, as you mentioned, group up, kind of stick together, and keep crossfires, and that way, at least if one of them is going to go down, they can at least trade out. And Phil watching this angle, knowing that someone's around that corner, but not really able to, do anything. But Bedmite looking to peek here, is going to just jiggle peek the arm around. He knows that Phil is there now as he tried to take a shot at him, as a lot of these smokes and everything are not quite getting down the hallway far enough. 1 HP, going to take a bit of damage, and so is Watson, as both of them going to be relatively low now. Even just a little bit of a tap is going to be able to take them down, as they're going to start walking forward ever slowly, trying to clear out all of these angles that they have to worry about any player of Miami being around. And we will see Triax, going this way by himself, trying to keep down this one hallway. And I'd like to see him slowly start pushing it, as right now they have 30 seconds to get onto the site, either get the picks that they need, the 5 picks, or plant this bomb. So they're slowly running out of time. And it's going to be Jimmer with the lurk, going to be able to take out Cayman, and not fast enough is 1 HP, not able to get the trade, just not getting that peak fast enough to get the kill onto Jimmer. And now Williams trying to rush in, as now is the Calgary is forced to rush forward. Watson going to find a pick, Jimmer going to find another. Calgary is falling quickly, but they are going to get the trade onto Watson, but they are not going to have the time, as the bombs will be defended, and another round will go the way of Miami here.
That was weird. So Miami did what a roam game is supposed to do. They wasted a lot of time. I don't think they wasted enough time, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm wrong because the round ended in time because of the great efforts on top floor. But Smoke threw out all 3 of his smoke charges before the minute 20 mark. And Calgary weren't even trying to push down White at the time. They were trying to work their push in another angle, and then you had the sledge on White playing the cutoff. And meanwhile, the Smoke player was just tossing out smoke nades, denying that entryway. Calgary then had this stumbling block of, it's a 5v5, we flushed out the top floor. What do we do now? What do we do now? And they just stalled. And they sat there. And I don't know if it was a information game deficit where they just didn't have the drones anymore to clear out space. I don't know if it was just comms not being where they needed to be, hey, where do y'all want to push? We need to get this going. We need to get this done. Because we saw one player lose their gunfight to Jimmer, and that was just Jimmer smoking a player like Jimmer does. You can't really account for that, sure. But in a 4v5, Miami had like 3 people downstairs. Snus could have easily started to work on a plant while holding these up top angles, while holding these flank watches, and instead they just let Miami roll in and get kills as they finally went for a plant, but they pushed one by one, not backing each other up.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where if they could have got the rotations in a little bit faster, they would have been able to find that kill onto Jimmer. But Triax not able to peek that, or came in not able to peek that corner quite fast enough after one of his teammates fell, and it just kind of made it really difficult for them at that point, as that you still have the rest of the team lurking about, hidden inside of the building, and none of them was cleared out, as just didn't have the intel to really find everyone. And right now, Kit with a crazy lurk pushing up a bit, looking to try and catch someone of the Snusers off guard, and came in with the riot shield, trying to get an idea where people is, just trying to get the information and mark him for his team while trying not to lose his life in the process. Ducky is prone, relaxing, chilling, almost peeks his head in through window, but it is going to be Williams that's going to find a kill, but they will find the trade onto him. He's going to take down Jimmer. Jimmer losing his life for the first time this game, and now it looks like the Snusers have a chance. Phil's going to open it up. Ducky's going to fall with a nice headshot by Phil, and now they're pushing onto the point. We see Cayman trying to, with this riot shield, trying to push in, but Bedmite's going to find a kill onto Triax. Now it's a 3v3 situation for the Snusers, and are they going to be able to convert this? They are on the point, but they still have Kit to worry about. Kit's gonna find himself a kill on Phil, and that is a good peek by him. A good little wiggle, and the Riot Shield not able to do enough as H1's gonna fall. He's gonna come in. Riot Shield's gonna find himself the kill. Watson's still up. It's Cayman and Watson. Cayman going to try and get the plan off. Watson trying to make his way down. And now he knows where he is. He knows that bomb was planted, but he doesn't know that he's creeping up down the hallway as he's going to hop through. They have found each other. As now Watson trying to find the way to get this kill. Both just trying and will eventually get it, but is going to look.
Can he find the diffuser?
He's trying to find the diffuser, but isn't really having a lot of issues finding it, but will eventually be able to find it. And a good job by Watson, able to take out that round, and another round going the way of Miami here.
Weird. I keep saying weird round because it's just so confusing to see some of the decisions made sometimes. And I know that's from an outside perspective, and I can't be too hard because there's a lot of things going on. You're juggling a lot. But I saw 2 Calgary players run at the Thorn who was called out, and I would assume yellow ping, or at least called out. At least the Thorn's in kitchen, especially after they kill the first player, and then you have a player just charging in Mach 5 full sprint, not able to get their gun up in time, and the Monty isn't doing enough to block it. So it's gotta be some sort of call out deficit on Calgary. There's gotta be some miscommunication that needs to be worked out. And I would like to see a timeout sooner rather than later to sort it out. Otherwise, you're quickly going to lose this map. Cafe can be a defender-sided map, but it's not this defender-sided. You should never find yourself down 4-0 on your attack and be like, oh yeah, no, this is fine. We'll just bring it back in the second half. No, you gotta at least get something on the board this half, and you're quickly running out of time to do that.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's looking a little bit rough here for the Snoozers in this first map. You know, Kit able to find those 2 picks when he's in a 3 versus 1 situation, you know, because Watson wasn't at that part of the map with him. Able to find 2 picks, leaving only Cayman left up. It's just an unfortunate situation there for the Snoozers, as after the first pick, you would think that he would have gotten called out, that they would have known he was there, but just having great timing on those peaks and on those initiations, was able to find himself 2 kills, and it worked out really well there for Miami, where they're able to hold down the fort on a round where it really wasn't looking in their favor.
Starting the round now, trying to focus on this take. First step is always trying to get cigar control, and Jimmer going down early with a pick from Williams is going to be exactly what you need. Jimmer cooling down, and hopefully Williams can heat up, because they're the Ash player. They need to be the breachhead for these attacks. And you really need a breachhead and these Ash charges to clear this position inside of Cigar. This deployable shield with the Wamai magnets. If they can find some way to deal with this, either through a grenade or through the Ash charges, you really put yourself in a winning position, and you have a lot of utility to deal with this. It's just a matter of getting it down and getting it down safely. As Ducky and this and Kit are very willing to just take your head off if you expose yourself to it.
Yeah, and right now, you know, having a little bit of trouble holding up both angles at the same time, but Ducky's gonna find one, but will pay for it when he peeks that head back out. It's now a 4v3 situation in favor of the Snoozers, as they made their way in that kill onto, ooh, and he's gonna lose his life, gonna eat a shotgun to the face, is 1 HP. Bedmite trying to hold it down on the point, and you know, we mentioned that kill onto Jimmer being such a huge thing for them to get early. Let's see if they can make the conversion and get this round, as is now in a 3v3 situation. Bedmite taking a bit of damage from the wall bangs, is gonna lose a bit of his armor, and they're gonna be able to find a kill onto Kit the second he peeks out. A great shot by Cayman, and now they're in a 2v3 situation for Miami. 3-on-2 for Snoozers, as Bedmite trying to push in with this shotgun, but he's going to get absolutely shot in the back as soon as he breaks through the wall. You know, breaking in like the Kool-Aid man just to get shot in the back. And now Watson trying to bring it in, going to find one, but is going to eat the crossfire and get traded out. And a round will go the way of the Snoozers here.
I've been ragging on the Snoozers too much. I either get the choice of commending them for a job well done, or ragging on Miami, and I think I'm actually going to choose to commend the Snoozers here. So they did a very good job of clearing out, the cocktail area. They got their opening pick on the Jimmer. They rolled in. They actually dumped some utility. They didn't quite clear the shield, but they pushed that player back and got the kill on the player supporting them inside the bathroom. Then from there, they recognized that both the remaining players from Miami had fallen off, and they allowed themselves to push up, have sight, plant the bomb, and put themselves in a position to win it. Miami fell off the sideways. Sure, you have an Oryx, and you can maybe go for a cheeky rotate, but you don't have the time really, and if you do that, you're putting yourself in 2 separate 1v1s instead of backing each other up, fighting against these players together, especially when you know they're going for a plant. You have a temporary 2v2 to maybe get something to work. They should have tried to force that, or at least hold sight, hold crossfire, and deny them this entrance. But that's going to be Calgary's first round, a very solid round at that, and they're going to hope to roll this into another attack against the top floor once again. Miami are, oh no, sorry, this is actually the middle site library. Miami trying something a little bit different. This is their no, this isn't library. That library is locked. It's the dining room. Oh wait, no, sorry. It is the library. I'm wrong, sorry. I thought they won library, didn't they?
regardless. The Snoozers
Oh, it was
looking
round
to
6.
try and get another round before they go to the defender side, wanting to try and bring this to a more close game and not have that lead in such a discrepancy for them going into the half. And right now they really need to get this round to really try and bring it back towards them, as they've been having a hard time on this offense thus far. And right now, doing a bit of a different strategy. They have 3 people up on the roof, 1 person going around the backside, but it's going to be Cayman that falls. Jemmer going to be able to find the kill. It really feels like Jemmer's kryptonite right now is Williams, as they're going to be able to find the kill on the Cayman here. Now they're in a
Really
4v5
cheeky angle.
situation.
That's a really cheeky angle. I mean, Jimmer's playing these very tight angles. It's going to be very hard to challenge him. And when you may not even be challenging him, you may just kind of bump into him. And if that happens, Jimmer's not going to give you a second chance. You have to be thorough. You have to make sure that you're not accidentally able to pick away. And unfortunately, that's exactly what Cayman does. That's also the buck down. Luckily, you do have a sledge. You do have a backup plan to, start opening up these ceilings and really get these angles that you want. Hopefully, flush Miami out. And if you flush Miami out and take control of the site like you did last time, Calgary, you're still not out of it.
Now, holding a lot of tight angles, not wanting them to get in, is Neon. And right now, Calgary just doing all they can to try and get eyes, try and get in onto this map. And Drax just barely gonna miss the shot. Is gonna fall to Bedmite, just barely, just a hair off that headshot. Is gonna fall, making this a 3v5 situation. And now the Snusers really in a desperate situation, really have to make something happen here. They're gonna have to throw a little bit of caution to the wind here to be able to take this round. But they are gonna find a kill onto Jimmer. Williams doing very well thus far. Gonna find him one. And Kit just holding this angle, just holding this corner, knowing that someone's gonna come his way eventually, and just unmoving throughout this game. And 1 HP is gonna drop down and pop Watson right in the face, and they're gonna find another kill on the Bedmite as he's gonna peek, gonna lose his life. Kit finally peeking out from around his little safe space, trying to spray through the floor, trying to get these kills in through these cracks and crevices, knowing that he has a chance to see a couple of the Snoozers. 35 seconds until this round is over one way or another. And 1 HP gonna find a kill onto Kit now, and he's gonna find a kill onto Ducky as well. Calgary making something happen here off an aggressive push after that 3v5, and are gonna be able to take that round.
Did Kit not hear the plant? That was unfortunate, because Kit put himself in the perfect position. He lurked upstairs on the top floor, could just walk around and kill players, but he's waiting for the perfect time. He wanted to make sure that he did it. He got his kill, and preferably either get another kill or had up top and could deny plant, deny entrance into the site. He waited a little too long, and then didn't realize plant was going down in default. Calgary could have swept the site and planted anywhere they wanted, but Kit didn't realize that he was actually just planting right in default, and either couldn't get the angle on it or didn't know exactly where plant was going down. That led Calgary to have a 2v2 post plant. They evacuated the site quickly, held their positions, and were ready for when Miami, swept in, tried to get that defuse. So a little bit of a misplay from Kit. He put himself in the perfect position, but unfortunately just couldn't close it out.
And that always happens, you can have everything perfect, but it's all about that execution. And the Snoozers able to find the execution there in that getting their second round win. And that's kind of the momentum change that you want to have if you're the Snoozers right now, to pick up those last 2 rounds as you go into the half and go into the side switch, and know that you have, a little bit of confidence and momentum moving into this defense now, as now you have the advantage of being on defender side, as it is now Miami that has to do all the hard work and the heavy lifting, as they're the ones that have to get onto the site and have to deal with you now.
Jimmer's going to make a huge play here. There's a player on the camera to the right. There's no one else in position to stop him swinging through this window. As soon as he gets the call out, he's going to swing through this window, and he could get 2, he could get 1, or he could die instantly. Unfortunately, his opportunity may be closing. Swings in. Jimmer himself is flashed and drops the hatch, but Ducky will pick up a kill elsewhere, and this is going to be a very quick exit.
And hit with a good lurk as the back of someone. Triax going to find a kill onto Jimmer. He is going to get traded out, and that's going to be Ducky finding a kill onto William as the bomb has been planted, and now is chaos has ensued. Everyone getting traded out, and there's only one left standing of the Snoozers, and he is going to fall. Ducky finding him 3 that round, on a little bit of a tirade there.
Rough spray from the Frost, but it wouldn't have mattered. Gridlock from the other angle will cut him down, and Miami will take their first attack. A little bit of a rush play, a little bit of a pocket strat, but it definitely caught Calgary off guard. Not so much the Amaru swinging through the window, unfortunately that was a bust, but everything else went according to Miami's plan. They dropped the Sens gadget, they made that light screen wall, and they used it to put a plant in a very exposed position, so Snooze had a very hard time with retaking. Calgary, you know, they had to start taking those gunfights, start fighting back for the site. Just couldn't do it, had too many angles on them, and just Miami are going to be better at these games, and they do know this. Unfortunately, they just didn't put themselves in a position to stop Miami from getting that breachhead in the first place.
Yeah, and one of the things that, you know, Jimmer, you know, going up through that window, sure, he may have been blinded himself, but he did find 1 before getting traded out. And if you can always find yourself 1 before you get traded out, if your entire team can do that, that's enough to win a round, as long as you're the first ones to get those kills. So you can't complain whenever you have draw everyone's attention to yourself and really kind of take all the eyes off the rest of your team, and you find yourself 1 at the same time.
That's a facet of it I didn't quite think of, but Calgary this time are going to just make some adjustments. They're, you know, assuming there's not going to be another rush. They're going to go back upstairs, alter a couple of things, and hope for the best. No Ying this time, no Amaru. So it's definitely going to be a different strategy, and no Sens. That was the linchpin of the last attack. I would like to see more Sens play, especially because it worked once, maybe it won't work again. They do have a Warden this time on Calgary. 1 HP is playing that Warden, and that operator can see through the light screens, but that's only 1 operator. And if you can find some way to deal with 1 HP, you can, you know, drop that Sense gadget and make a very cheeky plan.
Yeah, 1 HP over here in this corner. He knows that they're there. He sees the util coming through the window, sees the flashes. He knows that there's a couple of them lurking right outside this window, trying to hold this flank in this line as long as he can. He's going to take a little bit of damage and a little bit of poke. He's going to go down to half for it, aiming a grenade, and is not going to be able to do it. His Ducky's going to sneak in behind him, going to be able to take him out, and Phil's going to trade and get Bedmite, but it's going to be Jimmer and Watson going to find the kills on to Cayman and Phil as well. And now it's Triax and Williams to try and defend, but Will's going to fall, and Triax was trying to step forward, is going to get taken out by Ducky as well.
Miami with another, I don't want to call it a pocket shot, it's very well coordinated, but another not 100% on the up and up. They dumped a lot of utility through the windows, pinched out that Warden, swung in, got him in the crossfire. If 1 player would have died, there would have been an immediate trade. That didn't even need to happen. They got the kill, no trade from Calgary, and they got the plant down. Calgary didn't send anyone over to support the Warden. They assumed there was maybe 1, maybe 2 players over on those windows, but instead there was 3 and a 4th player nearby to support them, and that's what did it in. They didn't realize how many players were quite on that rappel and how much utility, how much focus Miami had on that side of the map. And their inability to adapt let Miami win that round. Miami, good job though, you know, identifying that point of defense, identifying the weakness, and exploiting it to full effect.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you can never really know, is just how many people are lurking around those corners and trying to push in until you see that util from multiple players, or see heads start popping through. So it makes it difficult to make those rotations and really try and adjust when you have to worry about 5 people on the map, and they can be pretty much anywhere at any point in time if you don't have the vision and the idea of where they're at. And so it's a little bit difficult right now for the Snoozers, as on this first map they're in for a rough time right now, as backs up against the wall a bit in on this first map of Cafe. And right now Miami looking very strong thus far.
Reloading!
Something we haven't talked about. So this is Calgary's map. This is Calgary's map pick Cafe. The next map is Consulate. And that was the one where I thought Miami's gonna be throwing curveballs. Miami's gonna be, really getting in there, getting aggressive, throwing something you've never seen before. But that's kind of this map. They're bringing out a lot of pocket strats, doing a lot of, I would call them cheesy things, but at the end of the day, if they're working, are they really cheesy? Miami are showing why they're going to be a strong Consulate team already on Cafe, and that's on top of just being a generally strong team. I mean, all of these players are fragging out of their minds. There's not a single negative KD, and Watson, the lowest KD on the team, has a 1vx. You have to respect that. Those clutch players maybe don't have the highest KD all the time, but when they do need to get those kills, when they're off the support roles and having to, step up and get those clutches, that's a very crucial important
1
role.
HP will fall here, as you've been talking. 3 people have fun on the side of the Snoozers. Just right now, Miami just doing a good job slowly tearing into the defense as they're breaking apart these floors, trying to look for the last couple of the Snoozers, not wanting to get caught off guard by a cheeky lurk or by a good crossfire out of Williams and Triax, trying to take their time, make sure that they can get to the point, as now they're going to have some vision on where one of them is with the cams. It is going to be called out, and Triax is going to fall pretty quickly after that, as everyone is converging on him, but he's not going to be able to find one of them, as he's going to fall. It's all up to Williams, a 1v5 situation. He'll find the kill onto Bedmite at the start, but will get Kit around the corner, slipping through while he's trying to get the kill onto another, and will wind up losing his life, and it will go the way of Miami taking the first map here.
Very strong performance from Miami, and they're going to look to turn that around very quickly on their next map, Consulate. Miami are looking to make this a quick and painless death. Send Calgary straight to the lower bracket, get on with their tournament, and go straight to semifinals. They're looking to just get in and get out.
Yeah, it just should have a very strong performance. Every single person on the side of Miami Neon doing so well. As you could see, we talk about, Ducky, been in the league for a long time and doing incredibly well that game, going 9-4, as well as Jimmer doing just as well. And it's something that the Sooners are going to have to adapt to, knowing that the Miami team has very good gun game and can really kind of outgun the Snoozers a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt and try and adjust going into the second map.
Speaking of the second map, we will be there shortly, but until then, I believe we're going to throw it to a quick break just so everyone can grab a drink, get ready, take a quick bathroom break, but until then, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hyper Series League. We're in for an incredible match between the Miami Neon and the Calgary Snusers. As we saw that Miami was able to take the first map. This is a best 2 out of 3, and the winner will go on to our semifinals here. And it is been a all Miami thus far, as they did very well on that map number 1. Now, what do you expect for Calgary to do going into this map 2 to try and make adjustments here?
Without knowing which side Calgary is starting on, I expect them to do a lot of talking about, okay, what went wrong on our attacks? How do we fix that up? And the answer is to play more off each other, communicate better. That was a couple of the easy mistakes that you can, as long as you're conscious of, you stop making. there are probably some deeper underlying problems that are going to be rooted out in practices over time, but Calgary don't want to have to do that while fighting through the lower bracket. They want to get to the semifinals and have time to really workshop that, work it out. So if I'm Calgary, I'm trying to do what I can to win this game, and I'm looking towards the future to what I can fix later. Going into the map bans, we see a very standard Thatcher banned out by Calgary, who will be starting on the defense, and Miami taking their time deciding what they're going to ban on for their attacker as they are starting on attack. They're going to go ahead and ban Ram. Very solid ban on Consulate, which has a lot of soft floors.
Yeah, and we see that just like in game number 1, the Thatcher is going to get banned. Not wanting to see it is the Snoozers, as they do not want to see Miami running it down on the Thatcher. And it's going to, what are we going to see here from Miami? They are going to ban the Solus off the defense yet again. Another character that we see those bans coming through that got banned out in game number 1, going to come back to in game number 2.
Man, it's so weird, the current results of this game, because Calgary is the first seed team of their division. They actually haven't played a game yet in playoffs. Neither is Miami, and that's because the getting team FF'd. But I mean, with the way they've been playing, I'd be scared to play them too. I don't blame that team. So Miami, this is their first game. This is their first game playoffs. But these are both really solid teams. But Miami could only manage third place in their division. So to see the results be this Miami sided, it's a little crazy. It's not what I would expect initially going into the game. I expected it to at least be close if Calgary were gonna, fall on their own map pick.
Yeah, and that's one thing to note, that the Cafe map pick was made by Calgary, and this Consulate map pick was made by Miami. So it's going to be interesting to see if we have the same sort of tide, where not the team that chooses it, but the team that got brought to it does well, or if Miami is going to have a bit of home field advantage going into this game number 2.
At the end of the day, home field advantage only gets you so far. Miami may have some specific strats they were working on for this, but each team practices every map. They aren't automatically banned. So I'm sure both teams are very well practiced on this map. They know what they want to do. And wow, look at this drone hunting already. 4 drones off for Miami. They're really going to be relying on that Doka beat to gather intel into the mid round when they're hemorrhaging drones so early.
And right now, both these teams just trying to get set up, as it is going to be the Calgary on the defense to start off this game number 2. And it's going to be Miami that's going to have to try and make their way into the Consulate and really try and push these objectives. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of ideas and thoughts that they have. 1 HP already knowing where one of them is, at least having an idea where one of the Miami is, but they're going to back up down the hallway. He's not going to peek that. A little bit too risky when you know that he's there with that crossfire after he gave you a little bit of a warning shot about it.
Yeah, 1 HP holding on yellow stairs is a basement defense, so this is going to be very hard to push into. You don't know if someone's holding that doorway to your right, unless you have the intel
Right
on
now,
it, which, yeah, it doesn't seem to be, but you never know when someone could be, and apparently they don't know that 1 HP is on the yellow staircase. Jimmer will get way too aggressive, get way too pushed up, get taken out for it.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there. Bedmite looks, thought he didn't see anyone, but at 1 HP was there. It is going to get Jimmer killed for his lack of eyesight there, and it's a little bit rough, but it's going to be just Ducky pushing in. Going to find a kill onto Williams. Wants to go follow Triax. Now Triax trying to hold down the line, is going to barely miss a shot, but Bedmite going to push in, going to get the kill onto Phil. And now Triax going to be able to spray through and take down Bedmite as he was in that corner. Having good angle, but not quite knowing that they were there, not knowing that his crosshair was right on top of someone, not able to see him. And now the Snoozers have a 3 versus 2 on this defense. We see Cayman trying to sneak around, trying to lurk, trying to find himself a shot in the back on one of them as HP is gonna fall, and Kit with the reload is looking too high, gonna get shot in the ankles, is gonna fall. Cayman with a kill, and now it's just Ducky living with literally one tap energy. This man could fall to literally the wind blowing at him, and he is in for some trouble as he still has to take down one more, and he doesn't know where Triax is. He going to use the recon drone, is going to try and figure out where Triax is on this map. You know, he is literally 1 HP. This man is living on a hope and a prayer.
There's a Legion.
And
There's a
now,
Legion.
15 seconds remaining.
as a Legion nonetheless.
10 seconds to go.
Triax trying to spray through, not able to find it. And he's gonna be able, Ducky's able to do it with 1 HP. Gonna find the angle and pop Triax right in the back. A little bit of distraction tactics as he's trying to get away. And Ducky's gonna be able to take that first round for Miami.
Really unfortunate. The Azami pushed up for some reason, getting really aggressive after getting their pick. Went to reload and then like, oh wait, there's a person here. And they whipped out the Deagle. The Deagle is a great weapon when you land your shots. It can drop people in 2 shots. But, you know, 1 to the limb, I think both maybe to the limb, didn't quite drop the Nomad. That got them killed, put it into a 1v1 situation. That was very unnecessary for the Azami to push up like that. But we all make micro mistakes. Miami actually were making big
Attackers
mistakes
need
of
to
their
locate
own.
and
They
defuse
didn't
this
seem to
main
have the
bomb
intel
so
on
they
these
can.
players. I mean, again, the Azami was right there lurking inside the piano area, and they were none the wiser. So Miami need to clean things up, need to make sure that they're droning out, droning ahead. They cannot rely on hero plays from Ducky to close out these rounds.
Yeah, but you have to give so much credit to Ducky there. Able to find 3 there and able to do it on when anything kills him. You looked at the man the wrong way and he's going to fall over dead, but he's able to get that kill and close out that round
10
for
seconds
Miami.
insertion.
And, you know, as much as, you know, we want to say it's like you
5
can't
seconds.
let that happen if you're the Calgary, you just have to give the man credit. Finding his marks, able to have the patience and just peeking at the right time in order to get the job done. And now Calgary already on a slight back foot as we on this map number 2 after losing map 1. And right now, if you're Team Miami, you just want to keep it up. You want to keep up the pressure onto the Snusers as much as you can.
You really want to turn things around quickly, and that was the round to do it. You lost out on that, but it's okay. Regroup, get back to it, put some rounds on the board, get yourself ahead, and then once you're ahead, you can really coast with that momentum. We saw that on
Bomb
Monday
located
night
by attackers.
when, you know, Oslo won their first game 7-0, and then Edmonton made a huge comeback in map 2. They really got things going for their side, and they put up an impressive fight. It did end up being an Edmonton loss. Oslo took it, but if you can get some rounds under your belt, build up that momentum back, even after a harsh loss like that, you can still make it a close game or even take it. Calgary, though, 1 round at a time. You need to worry about how they're going to take this round, and this is how they're going to do it. They're going to throw smoke down and try to deny this plant. The smoke nades are not there.
And Cayman is here trying to stop the 2 of them from getting in. It's going to use these smoke grenades to try and keep him out, but he's going to lose his life when he tries to peek. Bedmite going to take him down. Bomb is planted. And right now they have 32 seconds to get the job done. If you're the Snoozers, Triax on the point is going to find the kill onto Watson, but you're going to see now Miami going to find themselves too, as 1 HP and Cayman and Phil are all down. You're now in a 3v2 situation. Make that a 3v1 situation. Kit gonna find his marks. William gonna be able to trade out. Gonna be able to find Jimmer, but he's gonna get sprayed through the floor. Kit under his feet, gonna cap him the knees, and he's gonna drop down as well.
Plant down, whole post plant. Easy plan. Miami take that in the simplest way possible. Just plant the bomb. That's the objective, right? I mean, plant bomb or kill enemy. Do both. Make it easy on yourself. Do both objectives. Snooze tried to deny it, but that is a very hard plant to deny. They let him get into the building, and then from there, it was very hard to get him out. can't evict Miami once they get into the building, and that's going to be their undoing. The smoke nades just couldn't be placed at an angle to where it could get the planter while that person was on the rappel without dying. So Cayman's going to have to,
Defenders, protect
you
your
know,
bombs from
think
being
about that
defused
one
by
for a
attackers.
second and go, how can I deny the plant when I can't throw my smoke nades where I want to? Well, they're going to open up the floor and try to make more roam presence, it looks like. It's a good game plan, but we saw
Attackers
Miami
have located
last
a
round
bomb.
put a lot of people downstairs. There was a lot of people downstairs, especially a buck that was opening up the ceiling, clearing out any roamers, and that's one of the big reasons Miami also won that round, is they had a multifaceted push. So, Snusers are going to go to the drawing board. Calgary have a plan,
10
but
seconds remaining.
I don't think it'll be enough this time around.
5 seconds
But
left.
they're gonna lock everything down. And you know, you mentioned these multifaceted pushes.
Attackers' objective
They're working
is to
on
defuse the
different
bomb.
floors, on different levels right now, and that's one of the things that's going great for Miami. They have these pushes that are hitting on multiple floors at multiple different times, and when one person has their eyes drawn, even for a moment, it opens up gaps and ways for them to get in, and they've done so well at just executing on those brief moments of vision being lost, or those brief moments of someone turning around and losing their angle, and that's when they're peeking them. And right now, it's Ducky that is doing just so well for this team on this mountain number 2, already finding him 4 through these 2 rounds, being the hero of that round number 1. Right now, it's Miami trying to push in, trying to get as much as they can. Flashbang will come through. All we see is blind. Triax, no, can't see anything, and he's going to get absolutely torn apart for it. When you can't see anywhere, you're going to go down, and rough time there for Triax, as Watson is going to mark where Cayman is standing as he's holding this angle. Now everyone on Miami knows exactly where Cayman is, and they're going to try and use that knowledge to their advantage. A big spray by Jimmer, not going to be able to find the mark. 1 HP going to be able to get that kill. A great job by him, just being very calm and confident on that peak. Going to be able to take down Jimmer. And now Miami's still trying to get onto this points, as the only person that's really seems to be in the building right now is Kit. Kit trying to find his way in, knows that 1 HP is down at the end of this hallway from him, and it's going to be hard for him to push forward. And when he knows that there's someone there, gonna have to use some utility, try and get it out. Ducky just peeking in through the window and looking for someone to try and make a rotation and lose their head for it. Hoping that team can make up enough noise, be a big enough pain in the rear to draw someone out to where he can get a pick. And I like that idea, but I'm not sure how it's going to work. But Watson's going to find one, but Vedmite's going to lose his life. Phil going to find it. And a good kill by Phil. And now 1 HP just holding down the line as we see Ducky sneaking in behind. Is going to be able to potentially get this flank on 1 HP here as he is inside the building. He has a chance here. And now it's going to be a peek out of Watson as he's going to lose his life immediately to 1 HP. We knew that would come if Ducky couldn't get behind him. And now Ducky trying to get a kill. Will find the kill onto Phil. The crossfire from K will take out 1 HP. It's now a 2v1. Cayman forced to try and make his way over here. And Ducky just holding down the line, knowing he has to peek at some point, knowing that he can't just let him plant. He's going to take his head off.
I was just commending Miami for their multifaceted pushes. Then they make a very one-dimensional push, and they make it work. How did they make it work, you ask? Well, they won their gunfights. Those last 3 players just won their gunfights. They traded off, but they also traded those kills. So when you find yourself in a 3v3, you either got to look for, those free kills. You want to try to single out your 1v1s. But you also want to get the refrags in case your teammate gets dropped. And Miami did a great job of that. Calgary put themselves in a good position, but at the end of the day, you swung a couple of gunfights where you weren't looking quite the right way. You lost your gunfight. All of a sudden, oh, it's 3v2, and they can plant the bomb. So Miami's attacks have been lights out. That was one of the more rough ones we've seen, but they're still doing a very good job of, even when they're not in the most favorable position, they make it work through either clutch potential like we saw in round 1, or by just being, playing together and making what they have work as a team.
Bomb located
Yeah,
by
and
attackers.
right now they're just doing very well. We see Ducky 6
seconds to
and 1.
insertion.
We see Kit 4 and 1. Right now, people really struggling
5
on
seconds left.
Miami are Jimmer and Watson. Out of everyone, both of them being 1 and
Attackers are
3, but
moving to defuse
everyone
the bomb.
else, Bedmite looking at 3 and 2 himself, doing fairly well on the side of Miami. And we
Right.
look at the side of Calgary, they're getting a lot of their kills. They're getting these trades, but we look at Ducky and Kit just doing so much work on this map and doing very well in these fights. Ducky being the hero of round 1, getting 3 kills to his name, being able to take that round 1, and just last round finding himself 2 more. If they're able to take down Ducky and Kit, I think it's going to be like dominoes falling over for Miami on this map. And right now, just Jimmer, just being there consistently, 3 assists, just existing, being a nuisance for the Snoozers, as they're going to be able to find a kill. As Jimmer just going to charge on in through the window, going to find himself a kill onto Cayman, and now he is here. He is in there. He is in the midst, using his allies' recon drone. Little thing is going to find one, is going to have him marked out, going to try and fire that shotgun through. He's just going to break out the floor, not going to be able to get the angle, as he's going to be able to move pretty quickly. Now 1 HP, holding down the line, holding this angle very tight, but no one's coming from this side right now, as most of Miami is able to make it up onto that second floor, as a lot of the Snoozers kind of like don't really have the space, as Jimmer's just walking freely. Jimmer not able to find his marks, is gonna fall, not able to get the wall bang on HP, just a good duck behind and getting the crossfire from Williams. And now it's back to a 4v4, but you've done a lot of damage to 1 HP. All you have to do is get a little more, but now you don't know where he is. You've lost that vision, and now you're forced to push in. You have some ideas where people are. Bed might freaking out a little bit, showing his ally, as they're gonna find 2 anyways. Ducky gonna find Williams, and Bed might gonna cap 1 HP in the back. You see that Dope be using her equipment, and now it's a 4v2 situation. It's looking rough for the Snoozers, but it's quite possible. Triax has been doing very well, pulling down the line thus far this game. As now Triax trying to reposition himself, trying to loop back around behind Miami, as he's on the wrong side of the map right now. And Ducky's going to find Phil Triax in a scary 1 versus 4 situation. And he has to make it to the other side of the map to try and defend this plant that's about to happen. And it's going to be hard for him right now, as they're already spraying him as soon as he made his way down the hallway, and Bedmite gonna be able to take him out from it. As soon as he peeked, he got lit up. A very quick snap by Bedmite to get that hill.
And just really good mechanics. And that's what I didn't say it defined Miami, but that is one of the strengths of Miami, is that they have very mechanically talented players. I mean, you don't get MVP for plants. Let's be honest with ourselves, the support players are the backbones of our teams, but MVP's going to your star friend. And that's exactly what Jimmer is. We were talking about in the pregame. Jimmer got MVP playing for Miami. Now, Miami didn't even get first place. They didn't even see the finals of that season. They got 4th. And Jimmer still got MVP because he's just that guy. And this is a quiet game from him. But when he's having a quiet game, you have Ducky's very vetted player coming in, stepping up, getting 8 kills in 4 rounds. They have averaged 2 kills a round this map. And that is on top of a 1v2 clutch in the first round. That is insane. You don't get players like that often. The fact that Miami are having this depth of talent in their roster, right? That's really where their strength is that if it's not Jimmer, it's Kit. If it's not Kit, it's Ducky. Watson on round 1, or not round 1 rather, but round 2 rather, he really was the MVP. He got a plant down in a very scary position, but he trusted his teammates to cover. He swung in, got the plant down, and that turned the round completely on its head. And that's what allowed Miami to win so easily. So, you look at all these players, And you think, okay, well, how do you stop it? And you just have to be a more cohesive unit. You have to bring it together, and that's the thing I thought was the strength of Calgary. But they're not showing it to us today.
Yeah, and right now it's just Miami just doing so well as a team where one person's weak, the rest are strong. As you know, you mentioned Jimmer being a little bit quiet right now, but the man still has been on 4 assists thus far this game. This man has been doing his damage and getting his numbers, just not able to quite get those picks and able to at least get set up for the rest of his team. Phil gonna find Jimmer very early on, but will lose his life off the trade from Kit. And now it's a 4v4. Jimmer is down. Kit had a good angle, but he's just going to get outgunned. Triax with a good sneaky shot. Going to make it rain, and Kit's going to fall. Now it's a 4v3 way of the Snusers. Watson's going to hop on the point, taking a lot of damage. Long fire to kill Cayman, but is not going to be able to get out. And is going to burn to the ground. But now it's Ducky gonna get trade out, gonna find Triax. It's a 2v2. They have an opportunity to get on this point, but 1HP is here. It does know, and Williams going to be able to just take away that advantage that they thought they were gonna have. He's gonna take him down right in the back, and now it's a 2v1, and he's going to run a gun in, and it's not gonna work. 1 HP gonna get the final kill of the round, and a round will go the way of the Snoozers.
Wasn't a masterclass in Rome, but a very strong Rome from Calgary. Managed to get a pick, trade it out instantly, but then they did get another pick, and they managed to bring Triax back upstairs for that mid-round. But Miami made a huge play. Once again, going for the plant, Watson swung in, but unfortunately this time around, accidentally hit himself with the asphyxiating bolt, and that meant that he couldn't plant where he wanted to, so he swung, got an amazing kill that. Then tried to get back to plant. Fortunately killed himself with his own arrow because there was just no space over there. He was dead either way. He couldn't stand in the open. He couldn't go back to where he wanted to plant. So that's probably the weak link there. Unfortunate play from Watson that cost Miami that round, but Calgary played that very strong. Even when it came down to that 2v2, they were willing to hold passive angles, try to catch people off guard, lurk around, and just wait for Miami's response. And that worked out for them. They got that pick, played the 1v2, swung together, and managed to close out their first round. Unfortunately, that's their first round on defense.
10 seconds
So Calgary are down by a lot, and they need some answer, especially going into their attacks to bring them home.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try and take this round home, try and get some momentum back in their favor to kind of start bringing this game back more even. But that's a long ways to go, as right now Miami looking so strong. Even on the round that they lost, just a mental misstep out of Watson, just gonna be able to strip that round win away from themselves. And now we're looking at a potential 2-4 into the half of this map, potentially a 5-1 if Calgary can't get it together for this round. And right now, a lot of the drones are going to be snuffed out, as Watson going to spray through the wall, going to break out the window, start chucking flashes, start chucking grenades in, as Williams is up there, but is not going to have to really worry as no one's home. But I stand corrected, as Jimmer's going to be able to find the mark. Williams will fall, and that they have made their way inside. And now Williams going to go check the stairs. Doesn't know that Williams, not quite inside yet, but down there in the area, wanting to find his way inside. As with a great C4 under Kid's feet, gonna blow him out. And now Ducky gonna find the kill onto one, and Jimmer on another. Cayman and Phil and Williams will fall. We're now in a 2 versus 4 situation after a couple of rough gunfights. And now, using that drone, is going to try and find out where 1 HP is. Triax trying on the move, trying to find his way in, trying to find his way up here to try and make his way to his opponents. So Williams just going to hop out of the building and kind of leave for a moment, trying to re-maneuver and renegotiate their terms of engagement. And Triax sneaking around, being very aggressive, trying to go fast, trying to find someone caught off guard, trying to catch someone lacking. And right now, it's Triax that's going to be caught lacking, and so is HP, because HP, trapped between a rock and a hard place with nowhere to go, is going to wind up getting taken down.
That was really funny. Just see the Nomad Air Jab work there. Got thrown like a ragdoll. Well, that's the end of the half. Miami up 5-1, and I think the result is going to be expected here. I have hope. I believe. We've seen crazy. But it is hard to have faith. We're going to be going top floor. We're going to be going console meeting, and we're going to be bringing a castle strat. I actually don't know what the castle strat up here is going to look like, but I expect it to be very interesting because Miami have shown that while they are a mechanically strong team, they have the depth of talent like I was talking about earlier.
Attackers need to
They're
locate
also a
and
team
defuse
that
bombs.
really knows their stuff. They've really practiced these strats. They know what to open up, how they want to play things. And so when I see something like a castle on the board, that brings me a lot of faith that Miami know what they're doing and they're going to be presenting Calgary with a lot of issues. A lot of, possible avenues where they can flank from maybe, or maybe just a lot of problems that are like, hey, how do you deal with this? Do you have the utility to deal with? And if Calgary don't have the utility, it's going to make the round that more.
Absolutely, as right now, it's going to be rough for Calgary as they're down 1 round to 5. Only 2 more rounds potentially
Attackers' objective is to
left
defuse a bomb.
in their life to be in this winners bracket before they get pushed down to losers. And right now, gonna have to play hard, gonna have to be strong, and really try and stay together as a team. I know that when being down like this, mentals can be in the gutters right now, but hopefully they can pull through and bring this game back even. As right now, Trax is going to start making his way in on the lower floor, busting out this garage door, and has made his way in onto the consulate. Right now, a lot of just vision trying to be found, as neither team really knows where any one player is quite yet.
Mental fortitude is a big aspect of Siege, especially with longer maps, especially with best of 3s and best of 5s, which the finals would be. You have to have that mental fortitude of, hey, I lost a few rounds, or hey, I lost a map. We can come back. There's still more. We're still in this fight. Just come back at it. But down 1-5 on your tax. Now you're trying to figure out what's working, what's not, and how exactly you're going to approach this. And a grenade will definitely do that. That's a great clear from the side of Calgary.
Yeah, but Miami knows that they're there. Jimmer, having seen both of them, they know that they're there, but they're going to stick to their guns, stick to the location, stick to their line of sights, and not really move or budge. But a beautiful grenade there, just literally putting it right at Jimmer's feet, nowhere to go, is going to find him. And now it's a 5v4 situation. And going into a new set of attacks, that's what you want to see if you're the Snoozers. Finding that pick quite early on in this round.
Triax is coming up the main stairs alone. Now, this could be scary. That could either be a huge flank that wins it for Calgary, or this could be a pick that doesn't go their favor, but it actually does. It's traded off instantly, but that's a lot less manpower that Miami has to work with now in that front office. If Calgary can now play off of that and get a push going, that's going to be huge.
And Kit has a great angle right now. Able to try and hold down the line, knowing that, and a great flank as well. Gonna find himself too. Kit with 3 this round, maybe more, but is not gonna be able to find it. Is gonna finally fall. Phil being able to take down Kit, and Kit with a big triple to really bring this back the way of Miami. As right there, the Snusers really opened up this round. Didn't have to worry all that much, but a good lurk and rotation out by Kit there. Gonna be able to get him in the back. Bomb will be planted, and it will be Miami taking out them, the side of the Calgary. And now It is 6 rounds to 1.
Match
It is match
point.
point.
Ooh. What time is it? Man, this is going quick. Slow down, guys. We got time. You know, we still got like what, an hour before the next game? Y'all can take y'all's time. I want a barn burner. Give it to me. Let me see the comeback. Something. But to talk more about that round, there's not a lot to talk about that wasn't just shown. I mean, the Thorn got 3 kills, excellent gunfights, excellent flank, and then traded their life away. That could have been
Attackers need to
bad,
locate
and then
and
the Thorn
defuse
might
as
walk
many
into a
bombs as
smoke
they
grenade and
can.
die. Sure, I can understand the pressure to go for a plant. I can understand that, hey, time's ticking down, we have to do something. And you sometimes have to take a little bit of damage from the smoke to get that plant down, but that wasn't the play. He must have miscounted the timing on that smoke and just died to it. Unfortunate situation. Really.
Evil eye deployed.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds remaining.
Magnet set. Evil eye in place.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
I'm reloading. Loading mag. Target
Airstrap planted. Ready to go.
raising our defenses. Perimeter defense active.
Incoming adrenaline boost.
Reload!
Reload. Battery going out. Battery ready. Time to ring some ears.
Activating adrenaline surge. Breaching charges up.
Magnet deployed. Magnet online.
Ready to breach.
Impact out.
Attackers have dropped the bomb. 15 seconds to go.
But it's where they find themselves. You can't give up quite yet. You gotta make that attempted run through the lower bracket. But Miami, they're so close. It's tantalizingly close. They are now in the semifinals. You want to guess how many games it's from semifinals to grand finals? It's exactly 3. including the grand finals. You have your semifinals, your upper bracket finals, and then your grand finals, and then you're done. Miami just need 3 more wins to seal the deal and become back-to-back champions, and that's exactly what they want, exactly what they're going for. And with a game like this, it's hard to say that they can't do it.
Yeah, Miami just playing so well. We talked about, Jimmer being one of those stars through this set, but we look and saw just how well Ducky did in that set, going 12-3 on the second map, 10-4 on the first one, just having an absolute field day out of Ducky. And we gotta give the man credit. He's been in this league for so long, and that journeyman, that veteran experience showing its way through today.
Is Ducky's back hurting because they're carrying the team or because they're old? Flip a coin. Jokes aside, though, we do have an interview today, correct? All right, we do have an interview with one of the players from Miami. Looking forward to see who it is, but either case, they gave us a good game. They gave us a great showing, and this is going to be exactly where you want to be if you're Miami. There's not a lot of talk about where they could have done better. There was a couple of rounds that, maybe looked a little bit fishy that they did drop, but that happens to every team. And every time they would drop a round, they'd come right back and answer back with dominant fashion. So not a lot to say for Miami. They're a strong team. And they're going to keep showing what they got throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, just a great match overall between these teams. And we'll be sending it over to the interview shortly.
You want to guess who's going for the interview? Bloody.
I
Who do you
mean, if it's based off of, who did the best that set,
Oh, definitely.
it's going to be Ducky, if my
But it's
guess, but it is not going to be.
It's going to be Jimmer.
It's going to be Jimmer.
Hey, he's the MVP of our heart, or something like that. He also did very good. Let's not downplay him.
I mean, the entire team played very well through
if I
the
had
set.
to say, I'd give Ducky MVP. That being said, the entire team all around carried their weight, and that's going to be my first question to Jimmer. How does it feel to have a team that you can rely on constantly? If you drop the slack, have someone else pick it up.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Doing good. How are y'all?
Doing
Doing
all
fine.
right. So, Jimmer, guy asks, how did you feel going into the game, and how do you feel coming out of it, knowing that y'all were able to get a clean 2-0 victory over the Snusers?
Oh, just business as usual. We played well together, so that's what we should do.
Either case,
Nothing
they
out
gave
of the
us a good
ordinary.
game. They gave us a great showing.
Nothing out of
And
the ordinary.
This is going to be exactly,
being
someone who played on Calgary, did that give you any insight onto what they could possibly bring? Did that help at all? Or is it more of just a, it's just another team. We prep for them just like any other team. We have a general idea from watching VODs. So you don't really need to dip back to your knowledge of how Calgary used to play.
Well, I don't think they played Cafe at Hyper Series. And I mean, I had a good understanding of what they would do most of the time, but I didn't tell anybody that or try to actively counter it. We ran our strats.
Good to hear.
I'm not gonna. They never switched their strats at all. So, but I'm not gonna sit there and tell
Double agent.
Yeah, that's not fair. We wanted a fair game.
Good sportsmanship on that part.
Oh, well, they're all good guys.
No,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm still friends with all of them, and I play with them all the time.
Nothing personal.
No, it's just more so the fact that they don't really play much anymore.
Ah. Well, moving on. Who are you looking forward to see in the upper bracket run? I mean, you don't have to go to the lower bracket. You're not going to have to fight every team and their mother to make it to the grand finals now. There's only so many teams left in the upper bracket. What kind of matchups are you looking forward to?
It doesn't matter. We'll beat anybody in front of us.
That's the same thing that I heard Monday night. Oslo were kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah, we don't care who we play.
All right.
Well, it's always good to have that level of confidence and faith in both yourself and in your team that you fully believe that you're able to take on anything ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, you should. And I mean, we're still newer as a team, so you know we're still figuring things out as we go.
Now, is there anything in particular about your strategy or what y'all did today that you'd want that really stands out to you throughout the course of that match?
Just trading kills out and whatnot, and you know, playing the team game instead of all just going out fragging. I think the kills were pretty even across the board most games.
Definitely.
So that usually shows you're playing together.
Yeah, I believe Watson had quite a few less kills, but he also had 2 or 3 plants by the end of it. He was doing his job as a support. Would you consider like your team more of a objective oriented team? Like you go for those plants a lot, or is that just something like it's a natural progression? Like, hey, we kill a lot of people, they fell off site. Let's just get the plant.
Yeah, it really just depends on what the team we're playing does. 'Cause, like a lot of the top teams, they don't really allow you to plant. They just want to fight everything. So it really is just team dependent on who you're playing.
Cool. Do you have anything to say to everyone on the stream before you go? Before we kick it to break? Before we start prepping for our next match? 45-minute break. Don't worry about it. This game went a little bit faster than it should have.
Yeah, not really. Just
Oh.
good luck to everybody in their games, and
All right.
hope we play whoever wins, and they play a good game too. That's about it.
That is completely